The plasma bolts scorched the rocky terrain behind Leo as he sprinted toward the cave entrance. 3 Krath hunters were on his tail, their chitinous armor gleaming under the twin suns of Xerxia 7. He'd been surveying mineral deposits when their patrol found him. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong species. Leo dove into the darkness just as another bolt seared past his shoulder. The cave swallowed him whole and he scrambled deeper, his boots slipping on the smooth stone floor. His breath came in ragged gasps as he fumbled for his flashlight, the beam cutting through the oppressive blackness. That's when he saw her. The alien woman was pressed against the far wall of the cave, her 4 arms wrapped protectively around 3 small forms. Her skin was a deep violet, marked with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed faintly with fear. Her eyes, large, golden, and utterly terrified, fixed on him. "Please," she whispered in broken standard. "Please. No hurt." Leo raised his hands slowly, showing he was unarmed. "I'm not here to hurt you. Those hunters outside. They're after me too." Her luminescent patterns flickered with confusion, then understanding. Behind her, the 3 children, each no larger than a human toddler, whimpered softly. They had her violet skin and golden eyes, but their patterns were dimmer, less developed. "You... human?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Yeah. Name's Leo. You?" "I am... Nicole." She struggled with the pronunciation, her vocal cords not quite built for human speech. "My mate. The hunters killed him. 3 days past." Leo's chest tightened. He knew about the Krath hunting parties. They'd been systematically clearing this region of undesirables, anyone who wasn't part of their empire. He glanced back toward the cave entrance. Voices echoed from outside, harsh and guttural. "They're setting up camp," Leo muttered. "They know we're in here, they'll wait us out." Nicole's bioluminescent patterns flared with panic. "My children, they need feeding. Another day, maybe 2, then..." She didn't finish the sentence. Leo studied the cave. It was deep, with several tunnels branching off into darkness. An idea formed. "How well can you see in the dark?" "Very well. My people evolved in caves." "Good. I have supplies in my pack, food, water, medical kit. But we need to go deeper, find another way out." He paused, looking at the 3 small aliens clinging to their mother. "Can they walk?" "Not far. Not fast." Nicole's voice broke. I cannot save them alone." The weight of her words hung in the air. Leo had seen that look before, the desperate calculation of a parent who knew the odds. He'd seen it in the eyes of refugees fleeing war zones, mothers clutching children while making impossible choices. "You won't have to," Leo said firmly. Nicole's eyes widened. You help? Why? We are nothing to humans." Leo thought of his own sister back on Earth, of her twins. He thought of the fundamental truth that had driven humanity to the stars, that some things were worth fighting for, regardless of species. "Because it's the right thing to do," he said simply. They moved deeper into the cave system, Leo's flashlight guiding them while Nicole's natural vision helped navigate the treacherous paths. He carried the smallest child, a little one Nicole called Sarah, while the mother carried the other 2. The children were surprisingly light, their bones hollow like birds. Hours passed. The Krath didn't follow. They were ambush predators, not cave explorers. But Nicole grew weaker with each step, her bioluminescent patterns dimming to barely visible flickers. "Here," Leo said, finding a small chamber with a trickle of water running down one wall. "Rest." He distributed his rations carefully. The children ate the protein bars with cautious curiosity, their small hands, all 4 of them, holding the food delicately. Nicole refused to eat until her children were satisfied. "You need strength too," Leo insisted, pressing a ration into her hand. "I am dying," Nicole said quietly, her golden eyes meeting his. The wound from when they killed my mate. It bleeds inside. I feel it. Leo checked her with his medical scanner. She was right. Internal bleeding, beyond what his basic kit could repair. His jaw clenched. How long? Days. Maybe less. She looked at her children, and her bioluminescent patterns flickered with a deep, aching sadness. I must ask. Impossible thing. Ask. In my culture, when parent dies, another must take the oath, must become father, mother, must raise children as their own. Her voice shook. I know this is not human way. I know you owe us nothing, but please, please be their father. Raise them, teach them to be strong like you. Leo looked at the three small faces watching him with solemn golden eyes. Sarah, the youngest, had fallen asleep in his lap, her tiny hand gripping his finger. The weight of the request crashed over him like a wave. He thought of his survey contract, of his life back on the colony ship. He thought of how simple things had been just hours ago. Then he looked at Nicole, at this dying mother begging a stranger to save her children. What's the oath? He asked. Nicole's patterns flared with desperate hope. She spoke words in her native tongue, melodic and sorrowful. Then she translated, I swear on my blood and breath to protect these lives above my own, to teach them wisdom, to show them strength, to give them love. Until my last day, they are mine. Leo took a deep breath. He looked at each child in turn, then at their mother. I swear on my blood and breath to protect these lives above my own, he repeated, his voice steady and sure. To teach them wisdom, to show them strength, to give them love. Until my last day, they are mine. Nicole collapsed against him, her luminescent patterns blazing bright one final time before fading to a gentle glow. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you, Father Leo. She died 3 hours later, peacefully, with her children sleeping beside her and a human stranger keeping watch. Leo buried her in the cave, marking the spot with her bioluminescent patterns painted in chalk on the stone. The children watched silently, too young to fully understand, but old enough to know something had changed forever. He led them through the tunnels for 2 more days before finding an exit on the far side of the mountain range. The colony ship was a week's hike away, but they made it. When the authorities questioned him about the 3 alien children, Leo showed them the oath markers Nicole had painted on his arm with her blood before dying, a binding contract in her culture, recognized under interspecies protection accords. He filed the adoption papers that same day. Years later, when Sarah asked him why he'd saved them, Leo gave her the same answer he'd given her mother, because it was the right thing to do. And when she asked if he regretted it, he pulled all 3 of his children close and said something very human, something very true. Not for a single second, because that's what humans did. They protected those who couldn't protect themselves. They honored promises made in dark caves to dying mothers. They became fathers to alien children because love, in the end, transcended species. Humanity. Fuck yeah.